we're the Modular Electronic Locker Group, and this is our final design project. So with the pandemic, people have been getting more and more packages delivered, and with that, so has the theft of packages gone up. It's on the rise, and in order to combat it, we have come up with a unit that is specifically designed to work kind of like how the Amazon Locker works, except for is modular, so it can be applied in a wide range of different use cases, such as in smaller apartment complexes. It can be as small as this, if you're just like one person living in a home. If you're an entire apartment owner, you can have up to 127 different locker units, even a cafe, anywhere where multiple different users would want to have access to different lockers at once. It's completely dynamic who has the lockers and all that kind of stuff.
Let's talk about a UI then. So the bottom one, which comes with the metallic front, it's the control unit, which house the Raspberry Pi in it, and the rest you can see is the locker unit, which will house the packages in the end. And we can look closer. This is the GUI that we designed for this control module. It's supposed to have a touching feature, but sadly it doesn't work in so far. And now we're going to move on to the website front end and the database back end. I'm going to hand over to Josh to talk about this.
So this is the website that we've made for our locker. At the top, you can register a new user, given a name, an email, and password. I'm going to go ahead and log in with my credentials because I've already registered. And then click this button and you go to your profile. You can see that it's got my name at the top, my current pickup and deposit codes for the lockers, and an option to get new codes for security reasons. It displays whether or not I have any packages ready for pickup. Currently I do not, and because I am an admin, I have my admin password right there too. So I then go ahead and look at the GUI for the lockers. It's right here. And so this is the home page. It's pickup, drop off, and admin. This will bring you to different pages. We're going to go ahead and start on the admin page and show you how to set up new lockers. So on the admin page, I have to enter my admin password, which right here is 493975. Enter that, and you get brought to the admin control page. So there's 4 options here. You start setup mode, end setup mode, open all the lockers after you've set them up, or you can go back to home. So I'm going to go ahead and start setup mode. And Jack, if you can press the buttons on the PCBs to send the addresses.
They're pressed.
I'm gonna show them the buttons which are connected to the ESP32, so they can send their own addresses to the bus so that the control module can pick it up and recognize them.
You press both, Jack? I ended setup mode, and you can see that lockers are set up. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to home. Jack, if you can go ahead and close the lockers.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and set up 2 lockers. You do this the first time that you get the lockers, or whenever you add a new one, but then never again, because the locker addresses are stored in the cloud and pulled from the cloud every time that the program is run again. So if you unplug your lockers and plug them back in, or lose Wi-Fi or something, it'll always remember these addresses. So we're going to go ahead and start setup mode. Jack, if you can press the buttons.
Yep. So the buttons are on a PCB which are connected to the ESP32s, and then once the ESP32 pick up the signal from the button, they will send its own address over the data bus to the control module so that they could be recognized.
Right.
Yep. Now we're back to the GUI.
Yep. So go ahead and end setup mode, and as you can see, 2 lockers have been set up. So I can go back to home here, and I am going to drop off a package.
Okay. And then we're closing the door now.
So I'm going to get my drop off code. It is currently 870276. 870276. Enter that code.
I can drop off a little package.
Exactly.
You want to create a new a new drop-off code and drop off another package under the same account?
Sure thing, yeah. So I will go ahead and change my current deposit code. So now this is my new deposit code, and I will show you that this still works on the locker. So 290160. 290160. Back to the code. Oh.
What'd you do?
No, it's stop it. There you go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get new pickup and deposit codes and show you that those work too. So my new deposit code is 682995. 682995. There we go.
So now there's two packages in two different lockers, but under the same account. So
Correct.
if you want to go ahead and pick up this
go-
person's two packages.
I can go ahead and pick up both the packages
Oh, I didn't put a package in.
with the pickup code 558289. 558289. Code.
You're in drop off.
You're right, I am. But, which you can see is a good thing, code is incorrect, so it doesn't just open up for anybody. Back to home, pick up, it was 555289, right? No. Yeah. 558. Yeah, 289.
So the first locker that we put a package in was this one.
Yep. Opens first, and then in a second.
It opened.
No, it didn't.
It did.
No, it didn't. Not
There
yet.
it goes. It's a little slow.
Yep. In a second, the second locker will also open, and you have picked up both your packages.
I think now we can, since we have already introduced how the GI works, we can talk about a database that's running in the back end.
Yeah, sure thing. So there are there's one database with two tables. So this is the first table. It is the customer information table. Make this a little bigger for you, if I can. No.
Kevin Hart. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, got some.
I think Edward
There's some celebrities, so it's a good thing. They've already endorsed us.
I don't think we have the rights to say that.
So yeah, I don't come after my $20. So we're keeping track of email, password, customer name, pickup codes, deposit codes. When these codes when any information was last updated. If you are an administrator or not, if you have admin privileges, and if you do have admin privileges, what your admin password would be. Yeah, so that is the user database. Next is the locker database. In this table here, we have the unique ID of the Raspberry Pi that is kind of the brains of the whole control system. So for every set of lockers, they will have their own control unit with its own unique Raspberry Pi. This is the unique identifier of that Raspberry Pi, and in that way we'll be able to distinguish between different systems in this data table. Next is the locker numbers and the address of that locker. So that is the address of the ESP32 in each locker that is saved here. That's how we're able to open lockers, even though the code just started running, because we're able to pull this from the cloud. Lastly, it's the email of the person who is currently has a package in that locker. Right now, both lockers are empty, so this is a null category, but you would see an email here of whoever had a package in the locker.
All right. I think
about it.
that's it for our software side. Can you hold this for me? I'm going to introduce something about the locker specs. So first of all, The control module runs on Raspberry Pi 4. We did this because it has enough computing power and also has the ability to connect to the internet to pull the data from the cloud, and also it could drive a touch screen and collect all this information from a touchpad, a PIR sensor, and a camera. And it also can hold its local storage so that whenever we have motion, then this sensor will be triggered, and we will capture the image from the camera, and then it will be stored locally, also sent to the cloud as well, which I think we will show it later. Look on the laptop screen. So that's it for control module. For the locker module,
Real quick, just want to show that you also get an email whenever you pick up your deposit package. These are just some of the emails that I've gotten in the last couple minutes.
So whenever you pick up or drop off a code, you got an email notification. That's really considerate. And then for the locker modules, we are having ESP32 running in there. We did this because it's a really cheap option, and it comes with Wi-Fi, and sometimes if you pick a different model number, it also comes with Bluetooth, so enough expandability. This module in there usually it's connected to control the lock in each box, and then they also have their own unique address, so they can be addressed by the control module on the data bus. So if we can move over to the back, we're going to show you the wiring, although it's really like the prototype style, but I want to address that this is modular, so that we can disconnect the modules and or put more of them to the same bus, and there are only 4 wires to the bus. Okay, you get okay. There are only 4 wires on the bus, the 12 volt, the ground, and 2 wires for the differential signal. So it will be running on RS-485, a differential signal standard, so that we can transmit the signal as long as possible. In our locker case, this is entirely sufficient. And in terms of security, that I want to talk about is that if you flash the program into the microcontrollers on either the ESP32 or the Raspberry Pi, we can on the Raspberry Pi we can secure the source code by compiling as a binary code, and then nobody can ever read the internal information about the code, including like the IP address of the server or the login password. The same thing could be applied to the ESP32 as well, because there's an option to turn on the flash encryption, so nobody can see the source code as well. In terms of data transmission security, first of all, on the Wi-Fi, it will be protected by the Wi-Fi security protocols, which is common sense, I guess. And then on the data bus, although the differential signal can be probed by an oscilloscope, but we can use AES to encrypt the message. So whenever you get the message, you can now decrypt it with our key. So that's it on the security side. And also one thing I want to touch on is that because our power supply comes with protection over current, over voltage. So if you just short the pulse, if you just short the 12 volt and the ground, then it will be the whole power will cut off. It will not damage any physical parts. And also we picked a chip for RS-485 that can withstand up to plus or minus 80 volts. So if you just plug 12 volt into the data bus, then it will not damage anything as well. So that's it on the security side of our locker. And anything they want to show? Maybe the images?
Oh yeah, I can go ahead and show those. Don't look at my locker password, or my computer password. Okay, go ahead and...
We need to turn it off, but we can show them how to turn it off. So we need to go to terminal to shut this whole thing down. Since we don't have a keyboard on the control module, then there's no way for the consumers to turn it down.
Right. What is it again? Here, unfortunately, we're in
low resolution
mode, so it's kind of hard to see, but you can see a bunch of pictures have been taken. Let's see if we can pull one up. Yeah, there you go. That is
elbow.
Jack's elbow. So it's a great photo.
Beautiful.
You know, we got
my torso.
We've got a bunch of
me doing a little dance there.
Right. So that's...
I think I was opening lockers.
What intervals are these at?
Oh, wow,
So-
wait, go back. You can see the TAs from the other day,
Really?
from the demo. Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. So these photos look like they're taken at about
Every 5 seconds for the last.
five. Is it five? That one's
5-ish. Yeah.
That one's 8 seconds. Yeah, it's about every 8 seconds. Yeah, whenever the camera's on. So
That's it.
that's it.